Greetings, BookTube! I'm Ryn Jackson, and you're watching Bundles and Books, a channel where I talk about books while playing Stardew Valley and fixing up the community center. This is the BookTube Newbie tag, and since it's my first video on my channel, I'll be starting a new game. Here is Ryn. She's gonna move to Booktopia Farm, and her favorite thing is books, because I'm super creative. She has her generic outfit on right now, so I'm just gonna hit this once, and then that's what she looks like. Let's skip the intro and go. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? And in 2019, I felt like I was focusing on some really dumb stuff that I didn't care about. I was just watching a lot of TV that I didn't care about. I was watching a lot of YouTube that I didn't care about, that kind of stuff. And I felt like I was just getting dumber. For lack of a better way to describe it. So I set myself the challenge that in 2020, I would read 52 books where I would have to think at least a little about what I was reading, you know, because I had been reading. I'd never not read, but I was also reading stuff that was just super easy on my brain, that didn't require me to question anything or think about anything. So I did do that. I read all 52 books already, and so I wanted to continue challenging myself, and this is a way I thought that would be fun. I like playing Stardew Valley. I like talking about books, and I want to keep having a reason to keep reading and challenging myself. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? The thing that I think that BookTube is really missing is someone who was born during the Carter administration who talks about books while fixing up the community center in Stardew Valley. And I really feel like that's a niche I was born to fill. If there are other people born during the Carter administration who are talking about books while fixing up the community center, then please let me know their channels in the comments below, because I feel like we would be very good friends. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I'm really looking forward to making friends with people who like talking about books, and people who like playing Stardew Valley, and hopefully people who like talking about books while playing Stardew Valley. Why do you love reading? What I love about reading, and also what I love about playing video games, is the ability to temporarily live other lives than my own, and to, through that, broaden my understanding of what it means to be human, by experiencing different perspectives and worlds that are different to my own. What book or series got you into reading? The answer is none. Series like The Hunger Games were not really that much of a thing. So the first book series I remember reading on my own was The Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. That is not what got me into reading. I got into reading because of my parents. What questions would you like to ask your favorite booktubers? It's probably something technical, like how do you do your thumbnails, or how do you edit videos? I feel like this is probably my greatest area of weakness. I suppose a better question would be, could we be friends? But too late. I already answered that I don't know anything about thumbnails. So, oops. What challenges about starting a BookTube channel do I think would be hardest to overcome? And that definitely goes back to the previous question. It's going to be editing videos, creating thumbnails, any social media tie-in beyond YouTube, that sort of thing is what I'm not good at. And also, I think that the format that I chose, which is, you know, talking while I play a game and talking while I fix up the community center, is actually going to add its own challenges because of the sort of semi-live aspect of it, where I do have multiple draws on my concentration, in that I have the game pulling concentration, and then I have whatever it is that I want to be talking about pulling my concentration. Next question is, when did you start reading? I started reading when I was around 3. Both of my parents were college professors in the speech forensics and English space. So I don't remember a time in my life when I didn't read, and when reading and language were not a part of my life. By the time I went to preschool, I could read independently. And that's just them. That's just a quirk of my family. And, you know, one of them taught night classes and one of them taught day classes. So I always had a parent with me. I was firstborn, and my sister was not born until I was 4. So I have 4 years of them really hands-on 24/7 teaching me to love language, and it worked. They got me there. I do enjoy reading still to this day. Where do you read? I primarily read at home. I am answering this question in July 2020, but the answer would be the same regardless of any global pandemic, because I do work from home normally. I'm not just working from home because of the pandemic. My commute is, from my bed to my loft. That's pretty much it. I do read outside a lot because I have a nice backyard and access to a pool, so I also read in the pool. Most of my reading is done on my Kindle, and most of my books come from the library, from Libby specifically. I listen to audiobooks if I'm doing something that doesn't require my concentration and something repetitive. What kind of books do you like to read? I enjoy a variety of genres. What I really want is for an author to say something true about being a person, and for me to be able to understand it the way that they intend it. And I feel like I have had the best ability to do that with those two genres. That doesn't mean that no other genre can say something true. And that's part of what my 52 and 52 challenge is about, is challenging myself, educating myself, growing, finding out that, what I liked in fantasy the last time I read fantasy. The fantasy itself as a genre has grown incredibly since I last read it, and that I've also grown since I've last read it. So, time for bed. And that was the last question. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube BookTube journey. I'll see you in the next video.